The CBS Executive MBA has a few standout points. It is an internationally recognised program. It has been well ranked for many years by Financial Times rankings, top ranking among all the programs in Scandinavia. And in addition to that, the program is accredited by the three main accreditation bodies globally, which means that we are able to maintain a really high quality cohort of participants with a really high level of work experience and management experience, and also great diversity across the class as well. Diversity by nationality, but also diversity in terms of their educational backgrounds, their industry that they work in, or the functional area that they are specialised in. The CBS MBA has a really high degree of sort of applicability in terms of the learning. So it's not just sitting in class and learning about theory, we do have that, but every course that you do, or almost every course that you do, will have an assignment that the faculty has designed for you as a participant to actually apply into your own organisation. So what that means is we have a rhythm of learn and apply, learn and apply. Pretty clear that the sort of global business environment is becoming very turbulent and uncertain. The world or business, the global business, needs leaders and managers who are able to look at problems strategically, to take a sort of holistic view of business challenges. But also business leaders increasingly need to be able to lead beyond borders and across borders, and to lead multicultural teams. We understand that executives are busy people. I mean, by the very nature of a program like this, our participants are all already in management, leadership, decision-making roles. And so naturally they tend to have very demanding and busy professional lives, and of course their own family and personal lives as well. So taking on an EMBA is a huge commitment. Most of our participants will choose to do the EMBA in one go, as we call it, which is more or less 2 years of continual study. But we also offer an alternative structure, which we call the Executive Certificates route, or the stepwise approach, which is where the participants will be able to take the EMBA program one term at a time. So we break the program down into 4 main parts, or 4 terms, that we call executive certificates. And as a participant reaches the end of one individual certificate, they have the choice between rolling straight into the next certificate and keeping things going with that momentum, or they are able also to take a pause at that time if their circumstances have changed, if the workload is too much, if they just need a break, and they can come back and resume the next certificate or the next term in a year's time, or even in 2 years' time. So long as they complete the 4 executive certificates within a 5-year time span, then they will still graduate with the Executive MBA degree. So that's just an extra flexibility that we provide. Many of our participants choose that route, and it gives them that sort of insurance policy if things change, or if the workload's proven too much for them at that particular time. We know that the quality of an EMBA program is very much determined by the quality of the classmates, the participants sitting there in the classroom. And it's something that we pay great attention to through the admission process. And you will have seen CBS EMBA program has year on year performed very well in the work experience aspect of global rankings, where we've been in the top 10 for the last 3 in work experience, which I think shows you the depth of experience, but also the seniority that the participants in our class have. And what this means is that any business case or business problem that the class is discussing, you will be able to hear insights from people who have lived that experience, who have been in senior roles, making decisions related to that business case. Quite a number of our participants are sponsored by their company, either partially or fully. There are still many who are fully self-funded, and that's great also. But what we feel is that the program delivers return on investment, not just for the individual, but it also delivers return on investment to the organisation that the individual is representing as well. And right from the beginning, we actually try and encourage individuals to approach the program as a partnership. It's not just about you as an individual getting your benefits and taking the education and the network. We want the participants to actually involve their companies. Every course, or almost every course, will have an assignment that is designed specifically to be applied into the organisation. Then the thesis at the conclusion of the program, which we call the Integrated Strategy Project. This is a project where the participant has to identify an issue of strategic importance in their own organisation. And in many cases, our participants use that ISP, the strategy project, and it actually becomes a real strategy in the organisation. So we do see quite strong return for the companies as well, and we think that is reflected in the number that are willing to invest in their participants to take the program with us. We are here in Copenhagen, in Denmark. There's quite a strong Nordic or Scandinavian flavour to how we deliver the program. Obviously, many of our participants are from this region, but equally there is something, I think, unique about the Scandinavian way of learning. They tend to be very direct and very open in terms of how they approach their learning. And what that means is that in the classroom, we see very open discussions. And our faculty are there to, of course, guide the discussion, to share their own expertise and knowledge, but also to facilitate this kind of rich classroom interaction. Denmark as a country, Copenhagen as a city has a very strong thread of sustainability and ESG, and that is also something that flows very strongly through the program. There is a mandatory module in corporate sustainability. So we have a concentration, which is one of the optional parts of the program, where participants are able to choose a concentration in governance and sustainability, so they're able to really deep dive into that aspect as well. And this is something that I think we can all agree is becoming increasingly important. Denmark is to some extent a leader in that regard, and CBS as well, very, very strong in that area of content. We have many participants from the renewable sector, we have some from non-profit NGOs, so there's also an element within the cohort as well that will bring their own experience from their day-to-day work that often has that kind of ESG element to it as well.